This program is made possible in part by grants from Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Electronics Limited, Digital Equipment of Canada Limited, Nabu Manufacturing Corporation, and the following companies.
Patterns of light on the video screen, images bright, flowing an endless stream, bits of information, logic black and white, bits and bytes of information, turning darkness to light.
Hello, welcome to Bits and Bytes. In this episode, we're going to look at the microcomputer in the workplace, where the two most widespread applications are word processing programs and the VisiCalc type of program, the electronic spreadsheet.
What's an electronic spreadsheet? Sounds like a new sort of electric blanket.
No, a spreadsheet is just a large worksheet with columns of numbers, and it's used for any kind of planning, whether you're planning your own personal budget or the finances of a small business. And this sort of thing can be done many times more quickly on a computer.
Now, what's word processing? I'm not even sure I know exactly what that is either.
Well, word processing is really a very fast and convenient way of composing and editing text. Let's have a look at a typical word processing program. There's one already set up on the IBM computer.
Ah, yes. IBM personal computer. Insert storage diskette in drive B. Ah, here we are. And then press enter. Where's enter?
It's the large key with the arrow bent to the left.
Oh, here we are. Ah, Easy Writer file system. Edit a file. Do we have a file we can edit?
Try Scrooge.
Scrooge, all right. Get a file. Press G. And Scrooge. File in memory. Well, where is it?
Type E for edit and you'll see it.
Oh, there we are. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Have you got the whole of A Christmas Carol in here?
Actually, we could have, because the book is only about 100 pages long, so it would just about fit onto one floppy disk, but in this file we only have a couple of pages.
Well, how do I get to page 2?
Well, you know how to move the cursor to the bottom of the screen, don't you?
Oh, are these the cursor keys?
That's it. If you keep pressing the cursor key, the next page will start to appear.
The text starts to move up.
Or you could think of the screen as moving down. The screen is like a window or porthole through which you can see different parts of the whole scroll of text. If you want to go back to the beginning, just keep on moving the cursor up.
Oh, yes. Now, if Charles Dickens had had a word processor, how would he have gone about doing some editing?
The first thing you can do with a word processor is insert or delete letters or words.
But I can do that on most computers without using a word processor.
Yes, you can. But if you try to insert or delete whole sentences or paragraphs, you'll be in trouble. And yet that's very easy with a word processor. Suppose you want to insert a sentence after Marley was dead to begin with.
All right.
Move the cursor to the space in front of the word there.
Okay.
Now press the insert key. It's marked INS.
Oh, I see. The line cursor has become a block cursor.
And that means that you're now in the insert mode. Now just type in some new sentence.
I'll type in, I think we should make that quite clear. I see. So the new sentence just pushes all the rest of the text along to make room for itself.
And you could insert a whole paragraph. Then the entire page would move down.
And to delete, what do I do?
If you want to delete the same sentence, you position the cursor over the first letter
Okay.
and hold down the delete key, the one marked DEL.
Oh. It's like shunting trains around. And I noticed that it also automatically wraps your words around at the end of the line so that you can keep on typing in a continuous stream.
And when you finish your typing, you can save it on a cassette or disc so that you can bring it back and change it whenever you want.
So Dickens could have kept all his manuscripts on disc.
Some writers are doing that nowadays, or even delivering them straight to their publisher on disc. But the computer gives you several choices. If you have a modem, you can send your text along a telephone wire. Or, if you have a printer, you can print it.
Well, I know how a modem works, but I've never actually used a printer.
Press the key marked F10 to get back to the menu.
Okay.
And now press F2 to start printing Christmas Carol.
This is really something.
To stop the printer, press F7.
Unbelievable. Oh, that's pretty simple. And it looks good. So a word processor is really the ultimate electronic typewriter.
It's not so much an electronic typewriter as an electronic office. Let's compare an ordinary typewriter with a word processor, and you'll see the difference.
When you come to think of it, an ordinary typewriter is a pretty limited device. You type in some words, and all it does is give you a paper copy. If you want to file the words, you need a second device, a filing cabinet. If you want to send the words to someone else, you need another device, a mailbox. And if you want to rearrange the words, you need yet more devices, such as a pair of scissors and some glue for cutting and pasting. Now consider the word processor, which is really just a computer, plus a word processing program. You use the computer's keyboard to send your words into the computer's memory. And you use the computer's screen as a window on these words, so that you can see what you're doing as you use the word processing program to cut and paste the words to your satisfaction. And then there are several things that you can do. You can file the words on one or more storage disks. You can print them on a printer, and you can pass them onto a modem to be sent to some other computer. This means that once you have a word processing system, you really have a self-contained little office with its own built-in typewriter, filing cabinet, mailbox, and scissors and glue, all rolled into one.
So a word processor can be my own little office, and I can do all my rough drafts and rewrites on the computer screen itself. So it must save a lot of paper, too.
But a word processor is more than just a way of saving paper by letting you correct text on the screen. Let me show you something else that it can do. There's a famous speech from Julius Caesar already on file.
Oh, good. I'm going to get a chance to edit Shakespeare. Okay, now type G. What's the name of the file?
Caesar.
Okay.
The file is now in the computer. To see it, type E for edit.
Okay. Ah, yes, this is familiar. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Hamlet, not to praise him. Hamlet, wait, what's Hamlet doing here?
We deliberately substituted Hamlet every time the name Caesar appears so that you could see how a command called search and replace works. This command is on another menu that you can call up by typing F4.
F4?
Type S for search and replace.
Ah, I see. Search for Hamlet, I guess. Okay, here we go. Search for Hamlet. Replace with Caesar. And all or some? All. Oh, my gosh, look at that. What kept it? It's a busy little cursor, isn't it? You know, Shakespeare would have loved this. and I can see how it could be really useful. If I had a contract with a company and I wanted to rewrite the same contract with a second company, I could change the company name throughout the contract in a flash.
And you'll find the search and replace feature on many word processing programs. There are slightly different versions available for most microcomputers, but there are a lot of other features that we haven't had time to look at. Text formatting, choosing different type styles, preparing form letters, and so on.
Well, how long does it take to learn to use a word processing program properly?
Well, you've already learned quite a bit in just a few minutes. And to master EasyWriter, which is a fairly elaborate word processor, only takes a few days. And you've seen that the printing part itself is very simple.
Yes, that's true. And I noticed that each letter is actually made up of dots.
Yes, this type of printer builds up all the letters out of dots. It's the most popular kind of printer for small computers. It's called a dot matrix printer. But there are more expensive printers that will give you fully formed characters not made up of dots. The most popular printers that do this are called daisy wheel printers. There's one hooked up to the Xerox computer. The computer is all ready to print a memo. Just hit return.
Tell me, why is it called a daisy wheel?
Because it uses an element that's in the shape of a daisy. There's one on the counter near the disk drive.
Oh, I see. It actually does look like a daisy, doesn't it? Has it finished printing now? Oh, yes, there's a big difference between fully formed characters and the dot matrix characters. And I can see that the fully formed ones look better for business letters.
Yes, on the other hand, dot matrix printers can build up anything out of dots, different type styles or even pictures if you want.
Well, I suppose it's the same principle as building up pictures on the screen with pixels.
That's right. But to print really good line drawings, plans, diagrams, and so on, you'll want to use a different device, a plotter.
A plotter. What's that?
Let me show you some examples. On one of our visits to Hewlett-Packard, we were given a demonstration of several different kinds of computer plotters.
Those plotters were very impressive.
Yes, but of course they were designed to go with large computers. Although you can also get some modest plotters to go with most microcomputers. There's a tiny plotter you can get for the Radio Shack pocket computer.
Oh, this really is small. Well, how do I get it to draw something?
It's all ready to draw a little house. Just turn it on.
Okay. No, I don't believe this. Look at that. Oh, that's terrific. Well, isn't that nice? Thank you. The house that Billy drew. That's really something. So with a microcomputer, you can get to use some fairly elaborate word processors and even some ingenious little plotters. I suppose more and more people will be trading